Dogo, dogo, and not dog, dog, dogo, and nabalo, Amponohin gagawayan, ponuhin gagamdutan da. Tinonohe kiray hangonan nun hikiray lumiina. Anrek donay bogang rek donay alugo. That's my song. That's a native song. That's my song when I was little.
In this episode, we'll try to uncover the truth behind the history of the Banaue Rice Terraces. Despite these terraces' majesty and agricultural relevance, we couldn't help but wonder when and how the natives managed to build this natural wonder. Maybe we can find the answers about the terraces' history from the accounts passed down from the locals. Reaching the Banaue Rice Terraces is already an adventure. Whether it's a public or a private vehicle, travelers will face an hours-long journey through the heart of Luzon. The drive is scenic, but the roads are challenging, with sharp turns and curves leading to the mountain's highest areas. The Banaue Rice Terraces are indeed a mesmerizing sight. It's almost surreal. Thousands upon thousands of emerald green steps cascaded down the mountainside. Witnessing nature's beauty and how early Filipinos utilized the area while respecting the environment was awe-inspiring and deeply humbling. Now, our task begins. We hope the locals can give us an insight into the Rice Terraces history.
Gabi po no, mano-mano po.
Huwag dito. Pagkatapos, pag pinawakan mo sir dito para mabilis.
Ano pala? Pwede na pala akong tumira dito. Marunong na po ako.
We felt the locals' warm welcome as we began our search for elders to interview.
Ganito kalaki po, ilang araw po itong...
They even taught us how to harvest rice manually, a practice they still apply today. Harvesting requires skill and precision, but with enough practice, it's enough to find its rhythm and perform it seamlessly. Do these locals know the history of the terraces they're farming? Are they aware of the tools or engineering knowledge their ancestors might have applied to create the terraces? Although we can't help but marvel at the verdant scenery, we started to explore the remote village in the area in search of elders who could shed some light on the history of the Banaue Rice Terraces. As we walked around the village, we couldn't help but wonder if there was someone in the community who could give us the answers we came for, allowing us to understand the origins of the Banaue Rice Terraces. Our tour guide, Ate Mylene, introduced us to a local who lived most, if not all, his life in the village. Yet before he answered our questions, he wanted us to drink some of the rice wine he made. It was a complex blend of sweet and tart flavors with a hint of smokiness.
the size, no.
After a sip, Tata is ready to share his story and recall what he knew about the Banaue Rice Terraces.
Somebody posted that. Nó có sự ra hông nữa. Em không phải là hôn hết. Lại kita kaduhiyan mo ro kaya
Basta. Anak talaga siya.
Itawan mo.
Itawan mo, ma.
trong quay inilat trong quay pero
Hindi niya alam pero
mga
mga abot ng
mari pero
kasi
Hype.
yes, yung tatay ko, 86 yung tatay ko eh.
Kasi idaran po siya ng tatay niyo.
minta
Banana leaves po,
oh
sir.
ay nakan ang alam ay siyan aja ay najahan pepe o ni yun umari jahay simpaan yun umari yun hayangato
Hindi ano dito
oh
noon dito yung eskwelahan nila
Hmm.
bago sa taas. Kasi
magkalin ko han imariyan si hapon
Hapon.
oo tayo palatok oo
Aso na napuntahan kayo ng hapon po nung unang panahon dito? Na nasakop ng hapon din?
at takwa na siya han
wait lang kasi
Marian si hapon mo kuya imaris to
Hey, purple.
oo hay purple
may dumating yung hapon dito pero sa saddle.
ah
Saddle yung ano.
Sa taas.
Bago tayo bumaba, sir.
Hmm.
Yung po yung batad saddle po.
Kasi
Ah.
takot silang bumaba dito kasi medyo
Mako-corner sila.
halos ganun yung sinasabi yung matatanda. Talagang walang umabot dito mismo na hapon. Hanggang sa saddle lang sila. Meron silang gamit na yung spear na
So, naabutan pa ni tata yun yung...
mawali.
Kasi 80 plus years old siya, di ba?
simpe hopan ay kesyon ni
Manuel
oh
Person. yung mga majesty ko.
Piganin oh Disi kayo un sintimos oh Japon tiyera mayo un tiyangko
Pera noon kahit maliit lang is kayang bumili ng pagkain. Mabusog sa
Mabusog.
kahit anong sabi nila.
Kundi ilukan mo
Sinasabi niya is walang sasakyan. Paang sasakyan nila noon. Kasi nalakad lang mula dito hanggang Banaue noon.
Anong pangalan po ni tatay?
Opo.
at choy at tarpo hipap
Dito.
mình cho quay talak tayo ilukan
Noon sila doon sa kabilang barangay para kumuha ng palay. Buhat nilang dalhin dito.
After hearing Tatay's story, it shed some light on how banana leaves, which are perishable and an impractical method to store records, were used as the medium for birth certificates. If this lack of record keeping affected them significantly, does it mean there are no present historical accounts to support the exact background of the Banaue Rice Terraces? After lunch, we had a quick meeting to rethink our strategy. How can we get answers about the origins of the Banaue Rice Terraces if the locals themselves don't even know their age? Eventually, we decided to look for another elder to talk to. As we reached the center of Batad, we met Nanay Rona, whose English-speaking skills were admirable. She learned it from the schools established during the American colonization period and from tourists who would teach her about communicating in English.
My name Rona. Rona Pahigon.
So, what does it mean? What does the song mean, Nanay
Yes,
Rona? Can
I
you
will see.
explain?
Yeah, I'll explain you. This song means there's a man went to the mountain and he saw the fruit. It's ripe already, and then he get it and give to their parents. You taste this a very sweet fruit, and they eat the fruit, and they want to go and get more also to give to their friends. They share the fruit that the men go and get to the mountain because that's the only fruit that is very sweet fruit. And they give to their friends and relatives.
How old are you now, Nanay Rona?
Oh, I'm sorry because I don't know my year, but I was born in the May. I think I'm 92, 92 years.
So, you were born and raised here in Batad.
Yes, sir.
Nanay, how did you become so fluent in your English?
Oh, yes. I just because I learned how to speak English when the tourists been coming, and then they will teach me a little bit, and I go also to school, uh, and I learn how to speak little bit English because in school they will not speak our language. That's why I learn a little bit, and then until now, there are always been coming. There are so many tourists been coming here, and then I learn a little bit. Not so well, but at least I understand. That's why I can speak to you, my visitors.
So, Nanay Rona, when you were a kid,
Yes,
the rice terraces were already here?
yes, yes. When we didn't know because we are kids. It's already made. The rice terraces is already made before long time maybe. We don't know.
So, Nanay, if you can share with us, what's the story behind the rice terraces?
Oh, that's also the one that I don't know. I don't know also how to explain how they build the rice terraces. Because I don't know. Because when we grow, I grow already. It's already made. And then my parents want me to work in the field. And that's why I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain how is.
Nanay Rona, can you share to us how is the life here in Batad?
Oh, yes. Yes, our life here in Batas, I know, it's hardly because it's very hard. Our life here is very simple because we are going to work in the mountain to plant kamote top and make garden. And then also here in the field, we plant any kind of vegetable, and that's our food here because the rice is not enough for us. Yes, it's not enough. That's we are planting kamote top and like sweet potato, I should say, sweet potato. And that's the other, we add the rice and we eat and vegetable only. We sing a song, very happy. We are very happy in harvesting time. And before, especially before, when we also finish planting, we sing a song, native song. And then if harvesting time again, we sing a song, native song. And sometimes if they were they will dance also. They are very happy. The people is very happy when it's harvesting time.
Okay. Nanay Rona, just a little more question, okay? I'm sorry for
Yes,
taking too long.
it's
But
okay. No problem.
my friend wants we want to know if when you were a kid,
Yes.
right? When you were a kid, what was the story you've heard behind the creation of the rice terraces way back then? What do you know about this area?
No, pardon?
Mm-hmm.
Please speak louder.
Okay. In here in Batad, right?
Yeah.
During when you were a kid, you
Yes.
were still little, right?
Yeah.
What do the elders tell you about the Batad, the rice
The
terraces?
story.
Yes.
They my when we are small kids.
Yes. What do they tell you?
My father told me that when they are when I forgot also my father told me that there are somebody will come here from Kambulu or any place and where they are going to fight with here in Batad. They are uh, they want to fight here in Batad. That's why nobody can go around here in this area going Kambulu or Banaue. No, they only just staying here when they are small. My father told me that one because they are fighting. That's the story of my father. That's why the people here will not go outside. They'll not go to Banaue. They will not go to Kambulu. They are just working here only. They are farming. That's why because they are the one who will build their kaingin and work here and plant their food. That's why they are always eating organic food. I am not rich. This is that I am wearing this one because I'm a last class. That's why I'm wearing this one. But the rich woman because they are wearing the red one. The rich people will use the red top like this.
Nanay Rona shed some light on the cultural and historical relevance of the Banaue Rice Terraces to the residents of Batad. They learned how to cultivate the wondrous site and live contently through harvesting rice, kamote tops, and other crops. Yet, it's clear that she hasn't the faintest idea behind the rice terraces' accurate history, seeing as how it was already there when Nanay Rona was born. Despite her fluency in English and communication skills, Nanay Rona's answers left us unsatisfied. So the question remains, how and when did the Ifugaos establish the Banaue Rice Terraces? We then set out to the higher areas of Batad to meet someone they say might know the answers to the origins of the Banaue Rice Terraces. Tatay Ramon is another resident of Batad. He runs a modest business that offers a picturesque view of the surrounding mountainside. It's a great place to unwind and enjoy nature's stunning beauty while learning more about the locals' way of life. Tatay Ramon, like many other locals, heard a story behind the discovery of Batad and possibly the origins of the Banaue Rice Terraces.
Ako si Ramon. Sir, hindi ako nagsaliksik. Because in the first place, hindi tayo researcher. Pero kung ano man ang narinig ko, kwento-kwento ng mga elders natin, ayun ang I was able to retain some in my memory. So, ang kwento ng matatanda, itong Batad ay nadiskubre ng isang hunter. Ang pangalan ng hunter ay si Umangar. Umangar is from Kambulu, the next barangay after Batad on this area. So we understand na Kambulu was first inhabited by nomad people, hunters. They settled down in Kambulu. Siyempre, ang livelihood ng mga tao that time, hunting. That's one of their livelihood. There was a guy, considered one of the greatest hunter sa Kambulu in the name of Umangar. Now, one day, Umangar went out hunting with his hunting dog. And somewhere, the hunting dog of Umangar encountered a deer. The dog kept on running after the deer. We don't know what until where the deer stop from the mountain. We don't know which mountain here in Batat, where the deer pass through and start going down to the nearly bottom of Batat. At the bottom, there was a small lake, and our elders used to call it Tapgalong. So until now, we can identify the rice field which is called Tapgalong. That is where the lake, small lake, found that time. That area is a hunting ground and a place where wild animal roam around. And that's why thinking, that's why the deer went down to that area, the deer, to hide himself from the dog of Umangar. He tried to dip himself, the deer, inside that small lake. They call that Tapgalong. The hunting dog of Umangar were able to still smell where the deer is. So keep on barking. And so Umangar was able to locate the area from the mountain, went down, were able to find the area through the barking. Was able to locate the area and find the area because he'd been hearing the barking of his hunting dog. In short, Umangar was able to hunt the deer. So perhaps before leaving the area, he was able to recognize the area. And maybe he showed that the area is a good place where to start building a rice field, making rice field. There's an availability of water, or there's a source of water. And perhaps in Cambulo, where they started first building or making rice terraces, they know such a rice field or rice terrace is water dependent. So they cannot start or make a rice field anywhere where there's no available source of water. Malamang, that is what Umangar consider. That's why he liked to come back in this area together with his family, maybe friends and others, and start to clean the area and start excavating and started making the rice field. So that's why here in Batad, that's a strong evidence that making rice terraces or rice field, they always start from the bottom. Let's say in Batad, start from the bottom upward before they start excavating the area and making rice terraces. In our own opinion, they have to establish first some livelihood like planting or making kaingin, where to plant sweet potato, kamote, and gabi, something like that. Yeah. Or along from Cambulo, they bring with them some food. Yeah, but first, of course, they have to. They are resourceful people that time, so for sure they first make kaingin, where to plant sweet potato and gabi. Before it become Batad as a name of this place. May old name itong Batad, established by our elders, our ancestors. They call this area Pan-i. During the time of some foreign people who came to Batad as a teacher, as a missionary, or during the time of the American, maybe. So until now, to be honest, honest to goodness, until now, we are not yet convinced where the word batad came from. Now, that is one of the very common question ng mga bisita natin. How does it get its name, batad? And what's the meaning of batad? So, to me, I heard from someone, which I don't claim to be the true name or true meaning or true source of the word batad, because I heard from someone before I became active guide. The word batad came from the word patag. Patag. Patag means raten. So at that time, patad produced a lot of sweet potato. We are so abundant of sweet potato. And when the potato get rotten, they call it patag, napatag, rotten. The people who become first professional or learned people were not able to meet a research. The research should be done maybe 50 years ago, where there are really old people that time, older people who are more knowledgeable. This time, if you make questions to the elders, I don't know. Number one answer is I don't know. We don't know. When you say, what is this? What's the meaning of this? I don't know. We just heard from our ancestors.
Tatay Ramon's words echoed through our minds. Would we have an accurate statement about the history of this agricultural feat if someone asked about the origins of the Banaue Rice Terraces 50 years ago and heard the elders' accounts? Or would we also be left with the same stories we heard, as passed down from generation to generation? Tatay Ramon's account left us unconvinced that it was the accurate history of the Banaue Rice Terraces. As we enter the second day of our journey in the Ifugao Province, we were more than ready to find more information that could bring the origins of the Banaue Rice Terraces to light. In our commitment to discovering the history of the rice terraces, we journeyed to an area in the Ifugao Province that was celebrating the Puunuk Festival, a custom after harvest.
Headhunting in Ifugao. While we
Moreover,
knew that they were
we eventually found ourselves in the
headhunters, we were
Kiangan
never
Museum,
before.
where
That
we
was
met
a
someone who
subject, a
knows a
topic
lot
that
about
was
the
not
history of the
really,
headhunting practice of the Ifugao and a more in-depth account of what transpired during the American colonization and the Japanese occupation.
Then there's Galman. Governor Galman was the one who successfully ended headhunting in Ifugao. Yung sa earrings niya, that only the fierce warriors are entitled to have that.
Will we finally get an answer on the origins of the Banaue Rice Terraces? That's something to look forward to in the next episode.